Mike Farrell, Rivals.com at the Rivals 105-Star Challenge presented by Under Armour here in Atlanta, Georgia with Trevon Grimes. A guy who just came out with his top six. Got a lot of response from that top six, so let's go through them. What's your top six? And give me the Twitter version of what you like about each of them as you give them to me.
Ohio State first. Of course, I love everything about Ohio State. Growing up as a kid, I've always watched Ohio State. That's why they've been my leader since a freshman. Florida, my quarterback's committed there, Jake Allen. He's always pulling me, Florida this, Florida that. So he's always in my ear. He's on the plane ride here. He's talking to me about Florida. So, I mean, I can't overlook that just because that's my quarterback. We already have a established connection. Florida State, I like a lot of things about them. We've had a receiver come from my school, go to Florida State, and go on to do bigger and better things. So I just like the way that they throw the ball and stuff like that. Miami, me and Coach Dugans, we have a really good connection. He talks to me like I'm, I guess you could say, his son, and I really feel like he's one of the coaches that treats me like not as just as a prospect, but as an actual child to him. That's why I put them in my top six, because me and him have a really big connection, a really good connection. I put Georgia in it. Me and Coach Coley, we talk a lot. I feel like that connection could build up, and maybe something will spark there. And I just want to look into them a little more. And my last school, what was my last? I forgot my last.
If you can't remember, you're not going there. That's my rule.
Georgia and Georgia.
Let me see if I have it on my list. I wrote this before you came out with that, so we can talk about those five though.
Georgia and oh man, I have no brain fart right now.
It'll come to you while you're talking about some other stuff. So let's talk about visits you want to take this summer. You said you want to. First of all, you got the big Ohio State camp at St. Thomas. Yeah. I asked you off camera if you're going to commit then. You've been rumored to commit to Ohio State since your freshman year. So you said you're going to hold off. But how important is it to get coached up by those guys at a camp that at your school?
It's honestly a blessing to be able for them to come to my school and coach me up. So. It's I've been to a camp from them before, and I've got coached by them before, so it's just an honor to be able to experience it again and to talk to Coach Smith face to face and be able to be coached by him where I live, and for them to come down. So it's honestly just a blessing.
Where do you want to visit this summer? You mentioned going up to Ohio State. You mentioned a few others.
Four schools in mind right now: Miami, Florida State, Florida, and Ohio State. Those are the main top four that I want to visit. Of course, Georgia. I want to get up there. I want to get to visit Georgia. Actually, I was hoping to maybe visit after this camp, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to. So maybe sometime in the near future, I'll make my way back up here and get to visit Georgia.
All right. So time frame for your decision. I know it's hard. You've waited this long. Are you going to wait till after your season? Are you going to want to get before your season?
Honestly, I think I'll end up probably wrapping this thing up before my senior season.
All right. And did you give me in order? Is there an order?
Ohio State was my leader, and then those other schools are in the chase.
Okay. So everybody feels that Florida's the biggest threat, obviously, with Jake and a connection you have with the staff there. Is that accurate?
They're fighting. Okay, I guess you could put it that way. Jake's a big factor. Just because that's my quarterback. Me and him already have a very good connection, and really feel like he's one of the biggest factors in this process.
And give me a school that nobody thinks you're ever going to go to on this list. First of all, did you think of that sixth school yet?
Oh, yeah. I thought of it. It was Alabama.
Okay, so I forgot about Alabama, the national champs and all that stuff. So tell me what you like about Alabama.
You can never count Alabama out. I lived in a lot of great things there. Calvin Ridley, he went in as a freshman and blew up, and I feel like that was a big upside, because that's personally what I want to do going into my freshman season, is to have a very strong positive freshman season. So I feel like if he can do that, then I could go in there and do that. And I like the coaches. You can't deny Alabama. So I had to put them in there.
So we got a leader in Ohio State. I think we have the biggest threat in Florida. But give me a dark horse that nobody thinks you'd go to, that you really do like a lot, that maybe more than we even know.
Miami.
I figured it was Miami. I mean, at local school, Mark Richt, what have they been telling you about how they want to use you in the offense and how important you are to them?
The biggest thing they've been telling me is depth, and that's one of my biggest things too. I love to go to a school where depth isn't a factor. I mean, you know what I mean. It would make sense to go to a school where you fit in well, and I feel like I could fit in really well with Miami. And one of the biggest things is Coach Dugans. He's a phenomenal guy, and me and him's our connection's building over time. So that's one of my biggest factors.
All right, and the last question. Let's make this a cool interview. Put the six in order for me. Ohio State 1. Let's go 2 through 5.
Oh man. All right, let's do this. 1, Ohio State. 2, Florida. 3, Florida State. 4, Miami. Georgia, Alabama.
All right. That's what I guessed, too. Not bad. All right. So we'll see if this changes, but right now there's your order. Appreciate your time, Mr. Grimes.
Of course.
Thanks very much.